watched our latest video, you would have seen just how many quinces we managed to pick this week. And so we thought it might be a good idea for you to see exactly what we're going to do with them, or at least with some of them.
Well, a bucket full.
Yeah. We've already managed to give 5 bucketfuls away.
We've plenty left.
Yeah, we've loads left.
So we're going to try and see to these this afternoon, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
First job is a wash, to get all this furry stuff off. It's quite useful to keep the bucket because there's lots of waste.
So what we're going to do with this lot is to stew them and sort of make a quince compote. So is it just quince and sugar?
Yeah, because we've no apples.
It's basically like making an apple sauce, isn't it?
Yep.
If you find the flavour of quince a bit too strong, it can be toned down a bit by mixing it with apple, can't it?
Yeah. Well, we did that, didn't we? Because at one time we didn't get many. This is the first time we've had this many quinces, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So to make it go further, we tended to put apple with it. See, like you can see, it doesn't take them long to start going.
Yeah, brown. We haven't been that adventurous with our use of quince, really, have we? Because we've never really had enough to be adventurous with. But having read some of the recipes, it appears that you can use them in savoury dishes like tagines. You can make a sort of a paste with them, a membrillo. You can make jelly and jams with them, but these are all the sorts of things that we don't tend to eat, so there's not a lot of point. And of course you can make pies and crumbles and that sort of thing. I suppose we could do some sort of crumble, maybe an oaty crumble.
Yeah.
But it's going to take quite a while
To wash these.
for Martin to do that, so we'll just leave it there for now and come back when we get on to the next stage. The quinces have now all been washed, and so the next stage is a bit of a wobble there. The quinces have all been washed, so the next stage is to peel them and chop them up. At this stage, they tend to discolour quite quickly, don't they?
They do.
So some people might want to mix them with a little bit of lemon juice to try and slow down the discoloration, but
we don't mind, do we?
No, we found that they just produce a nice orangey coloured compote, don't they?
Yeah.
Which we quite like.
See if I can get one that's got a bit of brown stuff. If we don't have many, they all seem to have a bitter pit, don't they?
Yeah.
See, now this has, look. Now normally I'd work around that, but we've got so many, I'm just going to bin that one.
Bitter pit is something that all hard top fruits can suffer from. It's a result of growing in a very dry season, which it certainly has been. We did think we'd have loads of bitter pit, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because of course it has been very dry, but maybe the roots of the tree go down so far that they manage to access enough moisture.
So I'll just get rid of these and then cut into those.
Yeah.
So some people tell you that you can just quarter these things, but I can't, they're too hard. So
I think if you're going to do that, you need to leave them for a while, don't you, to try and get them to
yeah, but the
soften
more
up.
you leave them, the more the chances are they
Oh,
get
yeah,
a bit
yeah.
of it.
Swings
So
it
I
round
just
a bit.
slice as much flesh off. So you can tell when you hit anywhere near the middle.
It's got a really hard centre, hasn't it?
Yeah. So in years where we'd be struggling, I'd go for cutting all sorts of bits off there, but this year, why bother?
So again, that's going to take quite a while to chop all these up.
So I come back when they're
We'll
all
leave
done.
it there for a little while. All the quinces that we brought in have now been peeled and chopped. Got quite a lot of waste. We did have a few quinces that we just threw away, didn't we? Because
Yeah.
they were brown.
So next job, get them weighed.
Yeah. Oops.
And we want 2 containers off.
Had you already weighed the ones
Yes.
that you've put in the
So
cauldron? So we're cooking, seeing as it's near to Halloween, it seems quite topical to cook in a cauldron. So that you can see that they do discolour quite a bit, but like we said, we don't mind that.
I
So
believe
next job,
is adding some sugar. Now,
right?
we had half, don't we?
Yeah.
That's what I put in.
Do the recipes say as much sugar
got-
as?
No idea if I've learnt this by... I've tried to cut down the sugar as much as I can, but because when it's unfrozen, we want it to last for quite a few days. If I put less than half weight sugar to fruit, it won't last 2 or 3 days, even in the fridge.
After it's come out of the
After it's
freezer.
come out, it'll just start going mouldy.
Right.
So we want 850 grams, believe it or not.
It's one of the reasons we don't make...
So there's 750 in there. I think I'll make that do.
Right. It's one of the reasons we don't make jams and jellies, because of the amount of sugar you need,
That's
isn't
double
it?
sugar, isn't it? I mean, this seems bad enough to me when I do it.
Does, doesn't it? It's a scary amount of sugar.
Just mind the flame.
So how long is that going to take?
No idea. So what I usually do is just add a drop of water, just so it doesn't catch on the bottom.
Right.
One thing about them, they must have lots of pectin in, because
They do. I've read
it
that.
will finish up quite solid anyway. So
They're like apples. They can be used as a source of pectin. Oops, I just knocked the thing then.
So it's just a matter of leaving that now.
Do you need to stir
I
it?
stir it quite often, yeah, just to
Right.
make sure the sugar goes down. Sort of the quince at the bottom will start to break down before that on the
Right.
top. Doesn't take as long as you might think though.
And so would you keep coming and stirring it to make sure that it doesn't
Yes,
stick?
catch on the bottom, because
Yeah.
I've had that happen to me.
Right.
Oh, I'll just leave it a little while and then you come back. And once it's caught around the bottom, that's it, because it'll just taste
Yeah.
burnt then, whatever you do.
Right. Okay, so we'll leave that to cook.
Yep. So we're going to get on with a little stir just to disturb.
It's just been going a few minutes, hasn't it?
Yeah, only less than 5 minutes I would have thought. You can see nothing much is happening yet, nothing's catching in the bottom. There's a little drop of water down there, so I can leave it a little bit longer before it needs another stir. It's been going out long enough now to get a bit of a boil, and you can see it's already starting to break down, but Interestingly, I only added that drop of water. I haven't put any more in, and now we've got loads and loads of liquid. So it's just a case of carrying on now till it breaks down enough.
Well, the sugar will have turned to liquid, won't it?
Yeah. I keep it on a low light because I've learned the hard way of having it on a really high light. It does bring it to boil quickly, but leave it and miss it for 5 minutes.
You can do it in a slow cooker, I think, as well.
And yeah, I suppose you can cook this anywhere you want, really, can't you? But once it's got to this, it quite quickly breaks down. We're not bothered about it completely breaking down, are we? We don't mind a few little lumps in it.
I dare say if you wanted to, you could always put it in a blender or something, or a food processor, and whiz it down a little bit more if you wanted a smoother mix.
I'll give this another 5 or 10 minutes and see how it's doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So it had about half an hour.
Probably. It's bubbling away still.
Yeah, but this will be alright for us now. There are a few lumps in, but sort of they're soft enough to break down with the back of a spoon, so I'm not worried about leaving those in. We both still have teeth, don't we?
Yeah. It's not that you need teeth to chew those lumps.
So that's it. That's just about finished. Next, we just leave it to cool now before we decide exactly what we're going to do with it.
Well, usually what happens is once it's cool, we divide it into containers and label them up and pop them in the freezer. Because we've found, haven't we, that those margarine tubs
Just a nice size.
Quite, nice size for using to store things like that.
Pack well in the freezer and pack well when they're empty.
That's right. And we're recycling.
We are, yeah.
So that's it for now.
It'll take a few hours to cool.
Yeah. And we'll come back when we've potted it up. So the quince compote is now cool. It's sat there for a big part of the afternoon, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
And now we're going to put it in some of these margarine tubs. It's quite amazing how much you get in those tubs.
Yeah. Oops.
Throwing some away.
What's quite amazing if you think about starting with that bucket full of quinces. This
I know.
What we finished up with. But what's spare in this one?
Then when we want one, we just take one of these tubs out of the freezer, don't we?
Yeah. Let's have this spatula thingy. That's it.
That's it.
Good job.
So now, lid's on.
And then they just need a while to cool off a bit more, I think.
And then we've got some sticky labels there all ready to go on the lids. That's it. So we'll see you later. Bye bye.